7.2 Percents and Proportions. The objective of this lesson is to use equations to solve percent problems. I'm not going to use the method presented in 7.2. Instead, I'm going to present the method in 7.4, called the percent equation method. So, you have three cases. First, finding a percent. If you're given a problem such as what percent of 7 is 4, then we can set the equation up like this. Percent, we could present that as n over 100 of will be your multiplication sign, and then you will copy the 7, and is will be your equation, and then copy the 4. And now we have a percent equation. And then to solve for n, we can multiply by the reciprocal of 7 over 100, which is 100 over 7, to both sides of the equation. And then we can cancel the 100 as well as the 7. And the n variable is isolated. And on the right-hand side of the equation, we get 400 over 7. And then we can rewrite that as n equals 57 and 1 over 7%. Do not forget to write the percent sign, because that was what we were solving for in the beginning. The second type of problem we would encounter is finding a part of a base. The question would be, what number is 24% of 200? So number will be the variable you're solving for, n. And then again, is will be your equal sign. 24%, we're going to rewrite that as 24 over 100, fraction form, and of is your multiplication sign. And then we copy the 200, and then we can simplify. 24 times 2 will give you 48. Notice there's no percent sign because that is what we weren't looking for. Okay, we're looking for the number. That is 24% of 200. And the third type of problem will be finding a base. The question will be 20 is 30% of what number? So we're looking for this. This will be the base. So we'll copy the 20 is will be translated as an equal sign. 30%, we can rewrite that as a fraction, 30 over 100, of can be translated as a multiplication sign, and we can write what number as the variable n. Okay, now we have an equation. So to solve for n, we need to first simplify 30 over 100, which is 3 over 10. I just crossed out a pair of zeros. And then I take the reciprocal of 3 over 10 to be 10 over 3. Okay, as you can see, we have two fractions, 10 over 3 on both sides. And then I can cancel out the 10, and then cancel out the 3. Okay, and then now I get the variable on one side. And then I can multiply 10 to 20 to get 200 over 3. And I can rewrite that as 66 and 2/3. And that will be my base. There's a misprint here, so just ignore it. Note, please don't use the proportion method presented in 7.2 because I want to make things easier for you guys. Let's practice. Finding a percent. What percent of 72 is 54? So to set up a percent, I have to write it as n over 100 of, remember, it's a multiplication sign, and then 72, the base, is equal 54. And then we can solve. We can first simplify 72 over 100. So that will be 18 over 25. And then we can multiply by the reciprocal of 18 over 25, which is 25 over 18. Then we can cancel 25 on the left hand side and 18, and then isolate the variable n. Okay, and then we could further simplify the right hand side. 18 goes out, 54, 3, and then 3 times 25 would be 75. And since you're looking for the percent, don't forget the percentage sign. Okay, let's take a look at the next problem. What percent of 60 is 25? Okay, we can first simplify 60 over 100. Cross out one of the zeros. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then we could take the reciprocal of 3 over 5 and multiply it to both sides. Okay, which is 5 over 3. Alright, and then I can cancel. And then n would equal to, let's see, 125 over 3. And we can rewrite that as 41 2/3%. Okay. Part B, finding a part of a base. The first question is, what number is 18% of 50? So we can set the equation up as n equals 18 over 100 times 50. And we can simplify. Cross out 50. 150 divided by 50 is 2. And then we can keep simplifying. 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So n would just be equal to 9. Let's take a look at the second problem. What number is 65% of 120? N equals 65 over 100 times 120. Okay, remember, is your equal sign, of is your multiplication sign. And then we can simplify. Cross out one of the zeros. And then take 12 divided by 2 is 6. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then we could do 5 divided by 5 is 1. 65 divided by 5 is, let's see, 13. And then we can multiply 13 with 6. So n equals 78. Part C, finding a base. Again, our goal is to set up an equation. 105 is your equal sign. 84%, set that up as a fraction. Of is your multiplication sign. And then number will be a variable. And then, again, we simplify. So, 84 with 100, I can simplify that to 21 over 25. Okay, and then I can multiply both sides of the equation by its reciprocal, which is 25 over 21. Okay, I'm going to cancel out the 25 and the 21 to isolate the variable n. And then I can simplify it on the left-hand side before I multiply. So I could cancel out 21 with 105. 105 divided by 21 is it's just 5. And then 25 times 5, I get 125. That's your answer. Okay, in this problem, 18 is 45%. We write that as a fraction of multiply sign and what number? N, and here's your equation. Okay, and then we can first simplify 45 over 100, and that would be 45 divided by 5 is 9, 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now we can multiply by the reciprocal of 9 over 20, which is 20 over 9. Okay, we'll cancel out the 20 on the right hand side. And then we can isolate the variable n. And here we can also cancel out or simplify the left hand side. Okay, and it will be 20 times 2, which is 40. That's your answer. Word problems. Soccer. In the 2002 World Cup, 5 of the 32 soccer teams that competed were from South America. What percent of the teams were from South America? So I know that 5 would be the part, and 32 will be the base, because it's the total of, okay, the number after the word of, which is 32, will be the base. The number before of will be the part. So my question is, what percent of the teams, so there's 32 teams, and where here is the past tense of is your equal sign, right? Yeah, and an of is your multiplication sign, from South America. So it's 5 here, okay? And we're looking for the percent. Okay, let's set the equation up. N over 100 times 32 is 5. Then we're looking for the percent. Let's first simplify 32 with 100. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 100 divided by 4 is 25. And then I can take the reciprocal of 8 over 25 and multiply to both sides of the equation. Okay, the reciprocal will be 25 over 8. Excuse me. 25 over 8. And then I can simplify. Let's first cross this out. And then n will be equal to 125 over 8. And then we can rewrite that as 15 and 5 over 8%. This would be your answer. Heptathlon. In a heptathlon, an athlete earns points in 7 track field events. Track and field events, okay? Hept just means 7, okay? 7 different track and field events. Suppose an athlete earns 836 points in the 100-meter hurdles. This score makes up 16% of the total score. What is the total score? Every time you're looking for a total number, then it should be the base. Okay, you're looking for the base. Okay, so we know the percent, 16%. We write that as a fraction of the total score. That's what we're looking for, the base. And an athlete earns 836 points. Okay, so this 836 points is represented by 16% of the total score, so that's the part. Okay, that's the part. When you're reading these word problems, you need to know whether, you need to know which number represents the part or the base, and if you're given a percent, it's very obvious it's the percent part, okay? And so equal 836. And now we can simplify. Okay, I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 4 over 25. Okay. And then n equals, okay, I'm going to simplify the right-hand side. 209. And 209 times 25, by doing multiplication, we should get 5225 points. Make sure you work this out. Again, that's it.